Tonight, a fake bomb threat had an entire restaurant evacuated last Thursday in the Hart. Plus, passenger numbers are up at YXS but are still below pre-pandemic levels. And the 40th annual Franco Fun Festival begins today, celebrating French heritage in our city. Good evening and welcome to CKPG News. I'm Adam Burles. A fake bomb threat emptied a restaurant on the Hart last week. Police say the threat was made at the Domino's Pizza on the 6400 block of the Hart Highway just after 11 p.m. on January 28th. Mounties reported the caller threatened to blow the place up. Officers attended the scene and determined there was nothing suspicious left either inside or outside of the building. An investigation helped the RCMP identify a 14-year-old who was the caller. Police attended the youth's home, and the youth did admit to making a prank call. The youth was not known to police, and the investigation will be referred to the RCMP's Restorative Justice Unit for resolution. This means the guardian, the youth, and the restaurant manager will sit down and figure out the best path towards making amends.
They'll sit down and I'll get a turn to talk about how this event impacted them and what they would like to see from the person who was harmed standpoint, so the restaurant standpoint in this case, what they'd like to see done as restitution. So that might be a combination of things like a thank you letter, maybe some community service hours, maybe some volunteering at that business to learn more about what the business does and how it negatively impacted them to be shut down for several hours while the investigation went on.
Police add that while this call was fake, no matter which way you slice it, the event had a large impact. The event tied up all 3 emergency units, police, fire, and ambulance. They all had to attend the scene to ensure the event was indeed false, costing both manpower and financial loss. They are reminding everyone that making a false bomb threat is an indictable offense. If a person is found to be making a false bomb threat, they could be charged with uttering threats and/or mischief.
A lot of factors play into how that would go, but definitely you could be facing a fine, perhaps jail time, or probation. So it would all depend on a variety of factors that played into what the judge decided was kind of the final result there.
It's the time of year when organizations look at their bottom lines as they prepare budgets for the coming year. And this year, the matter of gaming grants has come up on more than one occasion, whether it's to do with nonprofits or the city. Cheryl Jan has the story.
Gaming grants came into play in BC in 2010 to, in the words of the province, support the delivery of ongoing programs and services that meet community-identified needs. But according to the opposition, the province is sitting on a pile of money and they aren't sharing.
I think it's actually time to look at how gaming grants are issued, the process in which they're issued. If you have an organization like this Rescue Society, or if you have an organization, the Prince George Sexual Assault Center, for example, that's been operating for 40 plus years, for them to go to an extraordinary application process year to year to year really doesn't make sense to me at this point.
According to the opposition, the BC Lottery Corporation reported a record net income from gaming of $1.6 billion in the 2022-23 fiscal year, while grants issued to the various organizations has stalled at $140 million annually for nearly a decade. And one of the organizations that taps into those grants locally is near to Rosalind Bird's Hart, providing a life-saving service, literally, the Prince George Highway Rescue Society.
They're a group that is strictly volunteer. They've been around for 20 plus years, and they cover 24,000 square kilometers of area here in this region where they rescue individuals that are in, horrific accidents that police, fire, and ambulance can't attend.
She says her equipment is bought and paid for through things like bake sales and bottle drives, and of course gaming grants. Meanwhile, gaming grants to the city go into general revenue to help offset the costs of things like snow removal.
We get 10% of the net gaming revenues, and the province called it a destination casino years ago when we rezoned it. So I mean, that works out to 3-point-something million. It goes towards general revenue, some towards policing costs, but it's not enough in my opinion.
And Brian Skaken has moved the issue to a special intergovernmental affairs committee with one mission in mind: online gaming.
Like online gambling is just taking off. And I think countrywide it's something like 40-something billion, and the province of BC was 400, almost 500 million online gambling last year. And what we're saying is they'll give it to community groups and different grants, but give the municipalities a share of that money as well, because we never calculated that in years ago.
Bird says the whole system needs an overhaul.
Not only should we be looking at how much money we're bringing into gaming and how much is going back to communities, but maybe we need to look at the entire process from the ground up and sort of see if we can make it more effective, more efficient, and better benefit communities, which is what it was intended to do. Most of these organizations should probably be funded by public money, and this is, giving resources to communities that aren't being funded by governments.
In the meantime, Skaken says he will bring up the matter of gaming and online gambling in particular at the North Central Local Government Association meeting in May. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
Passenger numbers at the Prince George Airport are on the rise, according to the Airport Authority. Over 450,000 passengers traveled through YXS in 2024, marking an 8% increase compared to 2023. However, despite the increase, passenger numbers are still below pre-pandemic levels. In 2019, nearly 500,000 passengers traveled through the airport, and the Airport Authority noted that among their priorities for 2025 include looking for a permanent replacement for departed President and CEO Gordon Duke, as well as restoring food and beverage services at the airport. It's been 30 years, but much has happened with an event that began in Prince George. It used to be called the Women's Enterprise Center, and its roots are in Prince George. Since then, it has grown exponentially. The anniversary event is coming back to Prince George with panel discussions with women entrepreneurs to share their stories and perhaps mentor an aspiring businesswoman. And progress has been made with women entering business at 3 times the rate of men. 40th year, the Cercle des Canadiens Français de Prince George is hosting a week of fun. In fact, it's called Franco Fun, and it involves a lot of events celebrating French heritage in the city. By comparison to the community's population, the Francophone community is relatively small, but the association has more than 300 local members. But while they are small, they are vibrant, and this is the week to celebrate that vibrancy. And the events start tonight at the Cougars game.
There's going to be as well some French movie on Saturday and Hart exhibition here to support the local Francophone artists. There's going to be a seniors lunch at St. Man Hotel. There's going to be a musical Francophone night with Cold Snap, and the last event's going to be the Sugar Shack. We have 2 services, one at 10:30 and one at 12. Just to mark that it's been 40 years that the Franco Fun Festival is celebrated in Prince George. It's just to say that it's a tradition from Francophone, mostly in Quebec. So once they came here in town, they wanted to have their own celebration as well and to share it with the whole community.
There are just a few days left in the month of January, and while you might be feeling the fatigue of keeping up your New Year's resolutions, the local Y has some tips on how you can push through.
And now to your health. Brought to you by Hart Drugs, 3rd Avenue Pharmacy, and the Phoenix Pharmacy.
It's 1 month into your New Year's resolution, and for some, the fatigue may start to kick in. The local Y says that they generally see a drop-off of resolutees in the first 3 months.
Our trends in the new year go right into March. We see people continue to kind of get their life set after Christmas. And for sure, we do see a bit of an upflux for New Year's resolution people.
If you feel like you're lagging on your New Year's resolution, maybe it's time to modify your plans.
Often with New Year's resolutions, we take on too much too quick, and it doesn't really fit with our lifestyle. And then we have this part of ourselves that wants to continue without really maybe revamping those goals and making them more realistic to our lifestyle.
And sometimes getting advice from a personal trainer can set you on the right path to completing your goals.
They'll take a look at what you've done in the past, what your interests are, and what your basic fitness level is at this point in time. And then they will match you up with a program that will suit your needs and help you towards your goals.
Don't be afraid to start small and work your way up to the final goal.
I think the thing to remember when you start a fitness program is progressive overload. So what that means is that you take an exercise and then you gradually increase it. Or if you're doing a cardiovascular exercise, you gradually increase the time that you're doing it. The opportunity there is for your body to catch up and actually get some gains, and that's what's going to give you that overall feeling of success.
Sam Benison, CKPG News.
To your health. Brought to you by Hart Drugs, 3rd Avenue Pharmacy, and the Phoenix Pharmacy.
The lowest gas price in Prince George is $1.54.9 per litre at Costco. The lowest gas price in BC is in Lower Nicola at $1.47.9 per litre. Alberta currently has the lowest gas prices in the country on average at $1.45.4 per litre. Meanwhile, BC has an average price of $1.72 per litre.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Feed your team tonight with a delicious mix and match combo. Chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
After a split weekend, the Prince George Cougars are back on the ice at the CN Centre tonight, facing off against general manager and head coach Mark Lamb's former team in the Swift Current Broncos for the one and only time this season. The Broncos are currently on a 4-game winning streak and are sitting at 24-18-1-1 and are currently sitting at third in the East Division. The Cougars have only won one game in their last 6 and are sitting second in the BC Division behind the Victoria Royals. Offensively, the Broncos have been led by forward Luke Mistelbacher. The 19-year-old from Steinbach, Manitoba, enters tonight with 66 points. If the Cougars are hoping to go all the way this year, they're going to need to see more out of their all-star players, including Captain Riley Height. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. The TSX is up 130 points to close at 25,419. The Dow Jones is up 137 points to close at 44,850. And CN Rail is down $1.99 to close at $151.39.
Good evening again, everyone. We've got cold weather coming our way by probably Saturday and maybe even Friday night. We'll really notice those overnight lows shifting. But the next couple of days, we're talking about snow. It is going to be fairly mild still in a lot of areas. We will see temperatures hovering above freezing in most areas of our region. But we will have a lot of snow to talk about. So that system that we saw pushing a lot of rain showers along most of the coast, the northern part of the coast here, and then snow inland is now sliding through the province. So as it does so, we're picking up some flurries. We've got gusty southerly winds up to about 40 kilometers an hour tonight, but the periods of snow we're anticipating to begin probably throughout most of the early part of tomorrow afternoon. And you'll see here on our Futurecast, right about there is sort of the bulk of it. So that is early afternoon that we have periods of snow beginning. A few centimeters for sure going to accumulate, and that will carry into most of Thursday as well. We've got snow in the forecast. So it will be mild but snowy, and then it's the cold weather to follow all of that. Our highs across BC tomorrow don't look too bad. We've got gusty winds up in the Peace and highs of 3 degrees for us, which is actually really good. And we're showing some showers here because of how mild it's going to be, but we can probably anticipate periods of snow for the most part, maybe a bit of a mix here and there. Down through the southern half of the province, that frontal system not quite hitting everybody there just yet, but it is sliding right through from north to south. So as it does so, everybody down here will start to pick up some precipitation. We've got showers and even some snowfall in some areas. It could be cold enough even down through the south coast by early next week or end of the weekend to have a few flurries in the mix. 3 degrees in Quesnel as well. You're looking at cloud cover there. Much milder McBride with some sunshine to enjoy. Vanderhoof as well. Could see a mix of sun and cloud. We've got flurries over in Burns Lake. So Vancouver, 7 degrees. It's cold but sunny. 4 in Edmonton for our high tomorrow. And then the temperatures dipping just slightly below freezing once again in Regina and Winnipeg. Further east, lots of action happening over there. We've got snow and rain and all that mixed precipitation in some areas and much colder temperatures as well. Snow for us late week, and really it starts tomorrow, as I mentioned, through the early part of the afternoon. And then we are going to be in for a big difference in temperatures. Wait till you see it on our extended. Burns Lake -5 tonight. Morning flurries tomorrow are possible. A break on Thursday, and then Friday back to a little bit of snow, and then there's the cold weather. So it does start on Friday night. -23, we start to see that settle in. And daytime highs really struggling to get up there. You will have some sunshine, which is great, but it will be very cold. -3 for Mackenzie overnight tonight, and not too bad the next couple of days. Even some sunshine on Thursday, colder and snowy on Friday, and then dry and very cold for the weekend. -20 is your high on Saturday. -8 with mainly clear skies in McBride for the night tonight. Much milder tomorrow, highs of 6 with sunshine. Then the snow making its way to you probably by Thursday, maybe Wednesday night, but we'll say Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at this point will be the snowiest of the next few. Quesnel -5 with partly cloudy skies. We've got lots of clouds in the mix for Wednesday. Flurries at times Thursday. A little more of that snow through the morning hours on Friday, and then cold weather on the way after that. And here in Prince George, it is going to cool down to about 0 tonight, maybe a bit colder, of course, with the wind chill. And then we're showing some rain and drizzle in here, but we are anticipating periods of snow at times. So 3 degrees will be our high. Then we see a big shift by Saturday, Friday night -20, daytime highs for the weekend, as cold as about -19 on Sunday.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Feed your team tonight with a delicious mix and match combo. Chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
Director Alex here, stepping in to ensure the right play is number 1 tonight. At 3, we start simple. It's the dog days of hockey. Teams have drama everywhere. None more than Vancouver and JT Miller.
Caught up with that puck. Oh, look out here! Miller scores! JT Miller!
He got in a brawl early in this one, but would put this game away with a game winner after a beautiful stretch pass from Quinn Hughes. Like I said, keeping it simple. It's also dog days in basketball, but that doesn't mean players aren't still doing remarkable things. Anthony Davis last night being one of them.
Davis leaves it for James. Tough chance. That's a tough chance. Oh, my goodness! Anthony Davis!
It's a tough chance if you don't have it going like he does right now.
Starting the game with 12 field goals in a row. He ends the game with 42 points and 23 rebounds, helping the Lakers beat the Hornets. All right, I flew through those first 2 because this is the cream of the crop. Baseball is just around the corner, and few things are going to get you more excited than the championship game last night for the Dominican Republic Professional Baseball League. It's the top of the 9th. 1 out, bases empty, tie game.
El líder en juego salvado de todos los tiempos. Duro por el center field. No, no, no! I can't believe it!
Rays prospect Junior Caminero absolutely crushes this ball 454 feet. He breaks the Jumbotron in the outfield, but that's not why this is number 1. Look at this home run trot. It is electric. Last year, the longest home run trot in Major League Baseball was 37 seconds. Junior clocked in at 56 seconds. He's jumping, he's dancing, he's yelling, he's high-fiving. He's taking every second he can to soak this moment in. If the future of Major League Baseball is guys like this, it's going to be in good hands.
Time for a quick look at our extended forecast before we wrap up tonight, and enjoy the next couple days of warmth while we have them, because we're about to enter a deep freeze. We're expecting quite a bit of precipitation over the next few days. Wednesday, and even though it's not showing on your screen, Thursday too, there's a high probability of some precipitation, most likely in the form of snow. Friday, we're going to see quite a big precipitation dump of snow, 5-10 centimeters. And then we get into the deep freeze Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all looking to be very cold, particularly through our nighttime temperatures, getting to -30 potentially by a Sunday night. With the wind chill, that could factor even more. So please be careful out there. It's going to be quite chilly. Be sure you're bundled up when you head out the house, plug in your cars. It's going to be cold out there for sure. All right, that's all the time we have tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, your last look is some action at a local lumber yard. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.